Hi, everybody. Welcome to the new member welcome. I'm Alex from E2 Language. Hopefully you can hear me now. Hi, Sarah, Isna. Just type in the chat box if you're here with me on Zoom. And if you're on YouTube, just use the chat over there as well. All right. Thanks, everyone. So in this session, if you're here on Zoom, just check down the bottom here. You have chat box settings. There's a little arrow on your chat box and you can send your message to all panelists and attendees. Excellent. And that way everyone can see your questions and your answers as well. Now, this session happens every week. So if you want to come back next week, you are welcome. And the idea of this introduction is to show you everything on E2 Language. I'm going to answer your questions as well at the end. So I'll talk about self-study materials for IELTS preparation, the E2 live classes, what are they, how can you join, group classes, which are something slightly different. I'll talk about feedback, writing and speaking, the E2 mock test, and one-on-one sessions with your teacher. The website, of course, is e2language.com. And our email is hello@e2language.com if you have any questions that I miss. All right. So firstly, tell me in the chat box, what are you aiming for? And are you taking general or academic IELTS? Just quickly share that with me. General. Okay, quite a few doing general. And what are you aiming for? 7s, 8s? Hi, Cindy, you're doing academic. Okay. 8s. Immigration, is that right? You guys doing general? Where are you off to? Canada, Australia? Canada. So popular at the moment, isn't it? Yeah, why not? An academic IELTS for some of you. Also to Canada. Okay. Poor old Australia. No longer the #1 destination. Okay, so I'm just going to share my screen to the website. Oh, there we go. So Shendra, you're coming to Australia. That's cool. Okay, so when you go to e2language.com, this is what you see. This is the website, which is slightly different to when you log into the platform. So if you're interested in, I'll talk today about some packages, but the details of those, if you click, let's say IELTS Academic, you'll see all of our packages here. If you're on our email list, you'll also get regular updates with new packages or discount codes and things like that. So all the information here is related to the packages. So I'll come back to that later if you've got questions, but let me just move this out of the way. Okay, but once you log in or sign up for free, you'll be on the dashboard, which looks like this. So I'm logged in as a general silver package holder. And there are a few things on my dashboard. Right in front of me is the live class calendar, and on the right is my study pathway. Okay, but I'm going to start with the self-study material. So where you'll look when you just want to start preparing by yourself, or maybe you've joined a live class and your teacher told you to do some homework. So the first, or the second button rather, in the blue menu is your IELTS course. If you're an academic student, it will say IELTS academic course, of course. And this is where all the exam preparation materials live. And they're organized by skill. So reading, listening, writing task 1, task 2, speaking, some practice tests, and a vocabulary section here as well. I'll just show you, reading and listening are quite similar in their layout. So you'll see they both start with an overview, which tells you, what happens in IELTS reading, this part of the test. And then it's organized by question type. So multiple choice, true, false, not given, everybody loves, match headings. And each of these has a method video. So in this video, Jay or I will talk about this type of question and we'll show you what it looks like in the paper delivered test and in the computer delivered test. And we'll tell you what we think is the best strategy to tackle it. Then there are practice activities for you to work through on your own. So listening is laid out in a similar way. by question type, multiple choice, maps, diagrams, down to short answer. Now, the writing sections are very comprehensive. So for writing task 1 general, you guys study we prepare a letter in the exam. So we've got our course organized firstly with the overview, what happens in task 1. Then we have a look at the marking criteria, which you can download. And then you'll work on the different kinds of letter. So each one has an overview lesson, a method lesson, and then there are samples, activities, and practice. So all of these contain a sample letter. So you get lots and lots of resources in here. And writing task 2, even more. Writing task 2, as you know, for a lot of IELTS candidates, it's a real struggle. Many people get stuck at band 6 or 6.5 when they really need band 7 or band 8. So we have broken down the essay into its different parts. Before all of that, in the overview, we also cover the criteria. So what does the examiner want from you? You can download the criteria. We've got a video about the different kinds of essays and also some golden rules, really important things related to every essay. We've got some printable essay structures. And then we get into the writing itself. So how to do introductions, how to write the 2 different body paragraph structures that we use, how to write a conclusion, and then got 7 different essay types here. Each one has a method video attached, actually 2 videos. Over video, brand new method video with either Jay or I taking you through a full writing task 2 with some error correction at the end, writing to a very high standard with samples, activities, all the other stuff in here as well. So there's lots and lots of information here. Speaking divided into the 3 sections of the test with built-in voice recorders and samples as well, and videos in here. Practice test section, if you're a free member, the first practice test is available, so you can do that, reading, writing, listening, speaking. The practice tests in the course are not corrected by the teacher, so this is fully self-contained. You just study on your own. You get a score for reading and listening, but your writing and speaking is not corrected. You'll just see a sample when you finish your work. If you have a paid subscription, you get access to the other 3 tests as well. And the final bit here is our vocab, also divided into 2 sections. Now, this first one, general and academic vocab, this is where you can download those big word lists, like the general word list, the most common words in English, the academic word list, which is 570 of the most important words in academic writing. By the way, this is really useful for both general and academic IELTS. Academic collocations list. This is a video about how to use the word lists and some vocab builders as well. And our popular resource here is also the toolkits. Each one of these contains, I'll show you an example, contains essay questions, speaking topics. So this one, the whole theme is animals. So the essay topics about animals, speaking questions all about animals, a resource section with links to articles, podcasts, and videos all about animals as well, a full sample essay, and a vocabulary list of 20 words in here and space for you to add your words as well. So there's first one is available for free. When you're a paid member, you have access to all 20 of those, and they're really useful to use after your live classes as well. Your course materials are also available here through your study pathway. So when you first sign in, there'll be a video here explaining the study pathway, but basically this takes the material from the course and puts it in order of priority. So you can see here, this stuff is essential in the reading, and this is the essential stuff in the listening, and so on. And you can adjust the filter depending on what you want to see in your pathway. So there's all these options. Maybe you want to see everything. Maybe you only are interested in what's essential and high. So if your test is like on the weekend, you probably don't have time to do everything, but you want to see the important material. So click essentials and high. You can click to keep your completed tasks here or have them disappear from the pathway. Just keep in mind, nothing disappears from your course. It's still here or still in the course. This is just organized in a different way. So let's talk about live classes, which is the other big thing on your dashboard here. And you can see this calendar, which is quite full of classes. Have you guys been to a live class before? Let me know. So Chandri, I'll answer that question in a second. And Sarah, yeah, when you have the writing package, everything is available from the self-study section. First time today? Okay, so on your calendar here, if you're a free member, look for the yellow classes. Those ones are available to you. So today we had the sample class, we had the new member welcome, and tomorrow we've got a writing task 2 class, and also on Saturday we've got a writing task 1 class. So quite a big week for writing, this one. I should mention, really important for your calendar is that your time zone is correct. So these are in my times, which is Melbourne time. To adjust your time zone, go to your profile, top right of your screen, click on student profile, and just make sure that your time zone is correct. If you have the wrong time zone, you might miss an appointment with your teacher if you book a tutorial or a speaking test or something like that. So just make sure that your time zone is right. Now, the live class calendar repeats each week. So you'll see the same classes at the same time, but the material is different. So the classes this week are different classes next week, different classes the week after, and so on. So there's always something new to learn. There's always something fresh in those classes. And we've also added a Grammar for IELTS class every week. It's on Wednesdays at the moment, which is one of our most popular classes. And yeah, writing classes almost every day, because that's the biggest difficulty for IELTS candidates. So we do a lot of writing and a focus on grammar. If you have a paid package, any paid package, you also get access to recorded classes. So maybe you want to come to this reading class tomorrow, but you're working or you're sleeping or something like that. The next day, we upload our recorded classes into this library, and we keep them here for 2 weeks. So you can just come back and have a look at so this was from the weekend, the Writing Task 1 Masterclass. These are from last week. And in this section, you'll also find all of our grammar classes. So we did recently relative clauses, prepositions, punctuation, articles. These are kept in the recorded classes section for the moment, even though we also have live classes each week. It's good to just refer to these when you need them. Cindy asks, would I recommend to attend all of them? Well, yes, but probably that's quite difficult if you're working and have a family and so on. It can be difficult, but if possible, I would try to come to one class each day or watch one class a day. It saves you thinking about, what am I going to study today? Where do I start? When you come to the class, everything is ready for you. The teacher will guide you through it. Your job is just to participate, ask questions, answer questions, and then the teacher will give you other stuff to do after class as well. So it really helps you to organize your study. Of course, if you prefer to study by yourself, you have that option. Just use the course on your own. But the live classes will give you a good structure. Okay, so let's talk about feedback, which is another thing that a lot of people are interested in. So as I have the silver package, I have assessments or feedback included in my package. And if you have writing intensive or what else? Showtime package, bronze, silver, gold. When you click on this feedback button, you'll have some feedback sitting here waiting for you. So I've got 2 speaking assessments. If it's green, it means I've done it and the teacher has marked it for me, and this is my feedback form. And for writing, as a silver member, I get 4 task 1s and 4 task 2s. So you can see I've already done 3 of them. I've got my scores here. And I'll show you the score report in a moment, but we give you lots of detail in addition to the scoring as well. There's a little video here explaining how we analyze your work and how we give you feedback. But we have just updated our feedback section. You can watch a video on that if you click on the announcements button, which is up here. I made a little video explaining the changes to our feedback system. So once you, I'll show you how it works actually. Let's say I want to do assessment number 4. You can do this anytime, but we really recommend space them out. So submit a piece of work for assessment, wait up to 48 hours. The teacher will send it back to you and then look at it really carefully, rewrite it before you submit the next one. And so it works just like this. Click on it, the timer begins. If the timer runs out, it's okay. You can continue to write your work. This will show you what it's like in the real test. You just type your response in here and click submit when you're ready. And then that's it. It comes through to the teaching team when you click submit. Same with the speaking. You record your voice into the system, click submit, and it comes to us and we take care of the rest. You just get an email when we've checked it for you. In another way that you can get feedback is by taking the mock test, which is also included in some packages. And this is a full-length IELTS test, but it's different to the practice tests in your course because this includes your teacher. So in the mock test, you start with listening and then reading. That's on your own. Then you do the writing test and click submit. When you submit, it comes through to the teachers. And you also take a one-on-one speaking test over Zoom. So just like a full IELTS test. So if you click on the mock test, you'll have information and instructions in here. And after you've done the test, it becomes your score report. So I've already done all parts of my mock test. So I've got my scores here and I can look in more detail by clicking on the skills. So I can review the listening questions and answers. I can review all the different parts of the reading test. So here I can see what I got right and wrong. And the most important thing is the writing and speaking feedback. So here I can see my score for task 1 is 5.5. My score for task 2 is 6 out of 9. And each one has a report card, which when I click on it, this is where the really important info is. So my overall score, my criteria scores. So I can see, okay, I've got to work on this coherence and cohesion and grammatical range and accuracy. I only got 5 for them. So I need to improve there. As you scroll down, there's more detail. This was the question I wrote about. This is general task 1. And here I've got the stuff back from my teacher. So it starts with comments and corrections. These all drop down. So my teacher writes me a little letter to explain what I need to focus on. And then my work is corrected by the teacher. If there's spelling errors, it will be underlined. If there are repeated errors, it will be highlighted. And the teacher will give me messages and comments through my work in here. And there's a section, this is my original task without corrections. And then here I can rewrite my task and save it. When you submit work for feedback, you also get a form like this. And you'll get a sample task. In the mock test, we don't include the sample though. Okay, then I get even more detail about my 4 criteria: task achievement, coherence, cohesion, lexical resource. Let's look at grammar. So I can see here the micro criteria. So my grammatical range, how was it? My accuracy, was I correct? Was I accurate? Did I use complex sentences? How about articles, verb tenses, all these different grammar points? Much more information than you're going to get in the real test, of course. And the teacher gives you a score from very high down to low. So I can see here for my range, I got a medium. So I used a mix, but not a wide range. I want to be here very high. And I have an action column. So this tells me how to improve. So often it will be a video link, or it could be a blog link or an article or just advice. So here, because I've scored all these mediums and lows, I've got quite a lot of action to do. So my job when I get feedback is to work through this information here. Okay, and here I can review punctuation. Right down the bottom, there's just advice to rewrite your work. So this comes with your mock test, task 1, task 2, and speaking, very similar thing. And also any feedback that you submit through this section here, you'll get a score report just like that as well. So far we've talked about the course materials, the live classes, the recorded classes, feedback, and the mock test. I want to talk about one-on-one tutorials and 5-on-1 classes, but I'll just pause for a moment and answer any questions if you've got them. Okay, Lalith, good question. Is there an order for the live classes? So if I join today, will it be the first session or the fourth? So there is an 8-week cycle, Lalith. We have 8 weeks of classes and then we repeat. So within the 8 weeks, you cover everything. But a lot of people study like about 1 month and they mix the course materials and the live classes. But 8 weeks, you'll cover everything. And there's not a beginning and an end because people join all the time. So technically, this is, what are we? This is week 4 for the teachers. We call it week 4, but for the students, it doesn't matter. It's every week is just something new. So for task 2, that means, 1 week we'll focus on problem solution essays, and another week we'll focus on opinion essays. So it works like that. This recording, Deepa, you might need to email if you want to watch this recording. Sometimes we email it to people, sometimes we don't. And it usually lives in the recorded class library. But if you send us a message through the help button here or through the email, then we can send you the link. Paper-based test, Saja, we recommend if you're taking the paper-based test, yeah, it is a good idea to write it by hand. But because of the way our system works, after you write it, you should type it up to send it through, because it's like in the feedback part here, we don't have an option to upload paper because it becomes difficult with the teachers trying to read on the screen. So we prefer that you type it up and send it through, but definitely a good idea for you to write by hand. Yash, I have only 2 months for IELTS preparation. Which package will be good for me? I'll talk about packages at the end, but I think 2 months is a pretty typical amount. So really any of the packages. So the packages have a very generous validity. So at least 6 months you can access and up to 12 months. But you should think about more like what's in that package. Like, what do you need? Do you need to do the mock test? Do you want to get writing feedback? Do you want tutorials? So those are the questions that will guide your decision. There is, I should mention, this package that we've just launched called the Showtime package. So when you're on the home page, when you're on the homepage, you'll see this little advertisement for it. So this is just a special offer package. And this is designed for people with about 30 days. And the reason for that is because it comes with, I don't know if you can see, it comes with a 30-day study plan. So actually you have access for 6 months, but you get a PDF study plan for 30 days. You also get a planning session with your teacher and a one-on-one tutorial with your teacher. You can take the mock test, so you'll get all that feedback I just showed you, the writing and speaking feedback. You have access to unlimited live classes and recordings, and you get an extra 10% off tutorials as well if you want to take 2 or 3 tutorials. So this is called the Showtime package. You can have a look at that through your dashboard. So the one-on-one tutorial, I'll talk about that next. Time management, I'll talk about that at the end as well. Cindy says, would you recommend starting with one skill and jump to another, or do a little bit of everything? Cindy, I would say that yes, I would sort of study for everything, that like the way our live classes work. We do reading tomorrow, writing task 2 Thursday, that kind of method. But most important is for you to find your weak area. So for most people, for many people, For example, listening might be no problem. So you just do a little bit of work on listening, maybe a couple of practice tests, but you might really need to concentrate on writing. So in that case, when you're planning your study, you should spend, about 70 or 80% of your study time working on writing. For other people, it might be speaking, but if you've done the real test, you'll know what scores you have and what your problems are. If you haven't, try the mock test or a practice test and try to identify where you need to focus your energy so that it's efficient for you. G1, you've got 3 weeks to your test. You bought the writing intensive package. Should I practice more or take feedback? Oh, definitely submit some work for feedback, G1. So you've got this package here. Oops. Writing it. So you've got 3 task 1s and 3 task 2s and only 3 weeks. So definitely submit a task 1 and 2 maybe this week, because as I showed you, you get back a lot of information and you need time to take action on that. So it doesn't matter what your score is really. It's more about that feedback that you get back from the teacher. So aim to make use of the feedback, not to get a great score the first time you submit it. And come to the live classes, that will be helpful too. Okay, let's quickly talk about the final 2 things. I'll start with tutorials. So a tutorial is a 45-minute one-on-one session, you and your teacher. You'll probably meet your teacher in a live class. So it'll be somebody like Sasha or Graham or Dr. Anna. We have about 5 IELTS teachers. And the tutorial is really whatever you want it to be. Most people, and we recommend using your tutorial for writing and or speaking. And that's because those are the 2 skills where you need feedback, and where in the test, a human marks those things. A human gives you your score based on criteria. So reading and listening, you can kind of prepare on your own. There's a lot of stuff online, and we have a lot of stuff in the course and in the live classes. All those Cambridge books, you can find them online. But speaking and writing, that's where you really need that personal help. So I'll show you how it works. Included in some packages is a tutorial, and you just choose the day that suits you. So let's say Sunday, 8. Teacher's probably setting their availability today. And then you tell the teacher what you want to do. So you can tick up to 2 boxes. So as I said, most people will choose writing and speaking, and many people choose just writing. And then you click submit, and that connects you to a teacher. And when the teacher gets your booking, if you've ticked writing, they will look at your assessment history. So from the teacher account, we can sort of go in here from the teacher view, and we can see, okay, you're getting 7.6. We can click on your work and have a look, like, what are your problem areas? What did the last teacher tell you? So I can say, okay, linking's pretty good, but some problems here and here. I can look at your teacher's comments and so on. And based on that, the teacher can put your tutorial together. You can also just bring writing to your tutorial and ask the teacher, like, can we go through this together? Or can we do a speaking mock test? Yeah, and then after the class, the teacher will send you some extra resources as well. So they're really a really helpful thing to do, and really life-changing for many people, particularly for writing. Another option is the group classes, and these are kind of in between a live class and a tutorial. So tutorials one-on-one, live class is 1 teacher, many students. Group class is maximum 5 students and 1 teacher, and everybody has their camera and microphone on, so it's more personal than what we have here. And you can read a little about them here. They go for about 55 minutes. They're extra $19 per session, and we run them for writing and for speaking. So we'll add some more classes. This is for this week. We've got a speaking session with Graham and a bring your own essay plus feedback. This means that you get this essay topic with Sunday's class. You write your essay, you bring it along, and with the teacher, you'll go through it and go through the other classmates' work as well. So really feedback focused. After class, your teacher will send you links and resources as well to further help you. So a very cost-effective way to get some really valuable feedback. So super quick recap. We've talked about the course materials, which is what you use to study on your own. The mock test is the full IELTS test with that really comprehensive feedback, particularly for writing and speaking. Tutorials are one-on-one 45 minutes. Feedback, writing feedback and speaking feedback available here. Group classes, 5 students, 1 teacher. Live classes and recorded classes are also available. Skill building, by the way, will connect you to our sister website, which is E2 School. And you can have the same account to log in there. And that one has a good grammar review course, which is free, and a couple of other things like a pronunciation course and some free live classes over there as well. What did I want to mention? Oh, if you want to add things on, by the way, so let's say you have the Express package, which gives you all the self-study materials and the live classes and recorded classes, and maybe you want some feedback, you can go to this E2 Plus Extras, so through Home, E2 Plus Extras, and you can add on like one task 1, 1 task 2, or 3 task 1s, 3 task 2s. You can add speaking intensive. This means 2 20-minute sessions with your teacher to work on speaking. You can add on tutorials here and also group classes. You can also just choose to upgrade. So in some cases, and a lot of people study like this or start with us like this. So they might join on Express or Express Plus, which includes that mock test. And then they decide, I want more feedback, or I want to do a tutorial. So from here, you can upgrade to something like bronze or silver, and you just pay the difference between the two. So if you go up to bronze, then suddenly you get an expert tutorial, you get 12 months access, you get 4 bits of writing feedback, you get a part 2 speaking, and unlimited live classes as well, so not limited to 25. So my advice to you as you get started is to have a look through the course materials here. If you're a free member, some of these are open to you, not everything, but some of them are available to you. If you're a paid member, everything is open to you. So look through, try to start working on your own. But the easier way is to join the live classes. So sign up, come along. You'll start to get to know the teachers and get to know your classmates. And this is a really much more fun way to study and really effective. So very carefully designed classes to help you improve. And that is all I want to tell you, but I'll stay online for a little while and answer any questions that you've got, if I can. Actually, I might just... Okay, I'll start here on Zoom. I'll have a quick look on YouTube as well. Lydia, you are doing general, but you accidentally got the academic package. Okay, so you'll need to switch your course. You can do it yourself. There's a button here to switch, or send us an email, hello@e2language.com, or go to the help button and click contact us. We can do that easily, no problem. That happens a lot. Mohammed, you're in Bangladesh. Oh, good. Everything is going well for you. That's good. G1, I think I answered that one already. Let me have a quick look here. Oops. Alice on YouTube says, how can I access the free live session? So go to e2language.com, just the homepage, and you'll see this big green button, sign up for free. So just do that. It'll ask you to choose the course, IELTS Academic or General. And then when you log in, you'll have a calendar that looks like this. And anything which is yellow, like tomorrow's Writing Task 2 class, you will be able to register. If it's blue, that means it's just for paid students. Okay, who's that? Zohaib, you want to have one-on-one classes. So that, as I said, is either you can add it on in the E2 Plus Extras once you have a paid package, or this package may be a good one for you, Showtime. So the Showtime package, contains a couple of meetings with your teacher. So one is a study plan session. Then when you do the mock test, you'll have a speaking test with a teacher, and you also get, I'll just try to zoom in. You also get a one-on-one tutorial as part of this package. So the Showtime package has quite a lot of teacher time. But if you want more feedback, like if you want to get those score reports, maybe something like Writing Intensive would be better for you, which comes with, here we go, which comes with 6 writing assessments. If you want everything, tutorials, live classes, assessments, that's probably our bronze or silver or gold package. As I said, you can always upgrade your package once you're in. All right. Thanks, guys. So I'm just going to stop the YouTube stream, but thank you so much for joining me today. Come along and sign up. We'll do the Task 2 class tomorrow in about 1 hour from now, tomorrow. So come and join that. That one's free. And those of you on